Welcome back. Come here. No, seriously. Come closer. Because what I'm about to tell you today is not something I say in every reading. This one is specific. This one has been sitting in my chest since I pulled these cards, and I've been trying to figure out how to start. Because honestly, the audacity of this man, the absolute audacity, he tried to ignore you. He made a decision, a very deliberate, very conscious decision, to file you under not going there, to keep his distance, to look at what was forming and choose on purpose to walk in the other direction. And now he cannot get you out of his head for a single day. Welcome. My name is Lily, and if this title pulled you in today, if something about those words made your stomach do that thing, I need you to stay. Because what came through in these cards is not a gentle little love note. It is a full confession from someone who thought they had more control than they do. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this if you're already feeling it. And let's get into this because the cards are restless today. What landed the moment I tuned into his energy? So the very first thing that hit me when I tuned into his energy was resistance. But not current resistance, past resistance. The kind that has already collapsed. This man made a genuine attempt to keep you at a manageable distance. And I want you to understand what that actually means. Because it is not a small thing. This is not someone who was indifferent and slowly became interested. That would be a completely different energy. This is someone who saw something in you early, felt something, and immediately decided that feeling was inconvenient. So he did what controlled people do. He rationalized. He redirected. He told himself a very convincing story about why this was not something he was going to pursue. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe the situation was complicated. Maybe he just wasn't ready to want something that felt this significant. Whatever the reason he gave himself, he committed to it. For a while. And then something happened. Not a grand gesture. Not a dramatic moment. Just you. Existing. Continuing to be exactly who you are in the spaces he couldn't fully avoid. And every time he caught a glimpse, a word you said, a way you moved, a moment where your energy filled a room and he felt it before he saw you. The story he'd been telling himself got a little thinner and a little thinner until one day he looked for the wall he'd built. And it wasn't there anymore. Something about you that I cannot move past without naming. Okay, and here's what I need you to understand about your role in all of this. Because I think you might be sitting there wondering what you did, what you said, how you managed to get so far under the skin of someone who was actively trying to keep you out. And the answer is gonna frustrate you a little. You didn't do anything. You were just yourself. Not a performance of yourself, not a strategic, carefully curated version designed to impress. The real thing. The unedited, unbothered, takes up exactly the space she deserves version of you that walks through the world without needing anyone to validate it. And that specific quality is what dismantled every single wall he built. Because here's the thing about people who are used to managing their feelings. They have a system. They know how to handle attraction. They know how to handle interest. They've done it before, and they have a whole internal toolkit for keeping emotions at a safe, controlled distance. But that toolkit was designed for ordinary. You are not ordinary. And there is no strategy for a woman who isn't trying to get to you, who isn't performing for your attention, who simply exists with this quiet, rooted, completely self-possessed energy that makes a man feel, without her even looking in his direction, like he is somehow missing something essential. That is what you do to him. Without trying, without knowing, every single time. The moment everything shifted for him, and this came through so clearly, something specific happened. I don't know the exact moment. I don't have the date or the setting, but the cards are showing me a turning point, a specific, identifiable moment when his decision to stay unaffected broke. Not gradually, not slowly over time. There was a moment, a very particular moment, where something you did, or maybe something you didn't do, landed in him in a way he was completely unprepared for. And in the seconds after that moment, he had one very clear thought. I am in trouble. Because it wasn't just attraction anymore. Attraction he could manage. Attraction he'd managed before with other people and walked away from without much damage. This was something else. This was the specific feeling of recognizing someone. Not from somewhere you've been, but from somewhere you didn't know you'd been looking for. And you cannot rationalize your way out of recognition. He tried. He went back to his reasons, rebuilt his arguments, reminded himself of every practical reason why this was a complication he didn't need. And every argument dissolved the moment you crossed his mind again, which was constantly. Which is still constantly. What's living in his thoughts right now? And honestly, this is a lot. So, let me tell you what his inner world actually looks like right now. Because I think you deserve to know what's happening on the other side of the distance he's been keeping. It is not quiet over there. He thinks about a specific version of you. Not the general idea of you, the specific one, a particular expression, a specific thing you said once that he didn't respond to the way he wanted to because he was too busy trying to look like he wasn't paying attention. He thinks about that more than he's comfortable with. There are moments, and these are the ones that are really getting to him, where he's in the middle of something completely unrelated, working, moving through his day, not thinking about anything significant. And then something small, a word, a sound, a completely unrelated thing that somehow has your fingerprints on it. And suddenly, you're there. Fully there. Taking up the entire room of his mind without asking permission. And he has to actually physically redirect himself, which works for approximately 4 minutes. And then you're back. This has been happening for longer than he would admit to anyone. And the frequency, instead of decreasing the way he assumed it would, if he just stayed consistent with the distance, has been increasing. He is losing this battle. He already knows it. He's just not ready to say it out loud yet. What you've built inside yourself. And this is the part you need to sit with. Now, your energy. Because I need to spend a moment here, not on him, on you, and what you've actually been doing while he's been over there trying to manage his feelings. You've been building quietly, without announcement, without an audience. The kind of building that happens in the early mornings, in the late nights when nobody is watching, when it would be so much easier to stay still. But you kept going anyway. You've been getting clearer about who you are, not the version that bends to make other people comfortable, not the version that makes herself smaller to fit the space someone else designed. The real version. The one with opinions and edges and a specific way of moving through the world that doesn't apologize for itself. And here's what nobody tells you about that kind of internal work. It shows. You cannot do that much private becoming and have it stay invisible. It radiates. It changes the quality of your presence in a room. It changes the way you hold a conversation. It changes the specific kind of silence you carry. The kind that isn't empty, but full. The kind that makes people want to know what you're thinking. He feels all of it. He felt it before he understood it. And the more you've grown into yourself, the more impossible he's found it to stay in the comfortable story he'd been telling himself about why this was something he could simply choose not to feel. Your growth dismantled his plan. Simply by existing, the battle he's having with himself right now, and I feel this strongly. Okay. So here's what's actually funny about this situation. And I say funny because, honestly, there is something almost poetic about it. This man, this controlled, deliberate, does not like to lose man, is currently in an argument with himself. About you. Every day. On one side of the argument, every practical reason he originally used to talk himself out of this. The timing, the complications, the risk, the very sensible, very logical case for keeping things exactly as they are. On the other side of the argument, you. Just you. No argument, no rebuttal, just the weight of what he feels every time you enter his mind, which again is constantly sitting there quietly on the other side of the scale. And the logical side has been losing badly. Because here's the thing about feelings that are real versus feelings that are convenient. Convenient feelings respond to logic. Real feelings do not care about your reasons. Real feelings simply sit there, patient and immovable, waiting for you to stop arguing and start listening. His feelings for you are real. He's starting to understand that the argument was never one he was going to win. And something in him, the part that's tired of managing this, the part that's exhausted by the performance of not caring, is getting very close to just stopping the fight. What he's about to do, because this energy is moving fast now. Something is shifting in how he's carrying this. Because there's a difference between someone sitting with feelings and someone preparing to do something about them. And the energy around him right now has moved quietly but unmistakably from the first category into the second. He's tired of the distance. Not in a desperate way, in the way that happens when a person has spent so long managing something that the management itself has become exhausting. When the energy required to keep something contained starts to cost more than just letting it out. He's approaching that point. And when he gets there, and it is when, not if, he is not going to come to you with something vague or half-formed. This is not someone who does things halfway. When he moves, he will move with the full weight of everything he's been holding, which is a lot, which has been building for longer than you probably realize. And when that moment arrives, when he finally says the real thing in whatever form it takes, I need you to be ready to receive it without immediately finding a reason to minimize it. Because your instinct might be to make it smaller, safer, more manageable. Don't let it be as big as it actually is. You earn that. What's moving toward you right now? And this is the one I want you to carry. And here's what I want you to understand about where you are right now. Not where you've been, not what you've been through to get here, where you actually are. You are in a position that most people spend years trying to reach and never do. You are someone who was underestimated. And there is a very specific power that comes from being underestimated by someone who later realizes exactly what they were underestimating. Because that realization, when it comes, does not arrive quietly. It arrives with the full weight of everything they missed while they were busy looking the other way. He looked the other way. He knows it. And now he cannot look anywhere else. That is not a small thing. That is not a coincidence. That is the direct result of you refusing to make yourself into something easier to dismiss. Of staying true to your own path, even when someone was actively choosing not to see it. Of doing the work on yourself, not for an audience, but because you understood that becoming who you actually are is worth doing whether anyone is watching or not. Someone is watching now. With full attention, with the specific kind of focus that only comes from having tried to look away and failed. The final truth this reading has been building toward. And this one is yours to keep. Here's the last thing, and I want you to actually let this one in. Not just read it. Let it land somewhere real. There was probably a moment, maybe more than one, where his distance made you question something about yourself. Where the deliberate coolness, the careful management of space made you wonder if maybe you'd read something wrong, if maybe you'd imagined a connection that wasn't there, if maybe you were too much or not enough or somehow not quite right for this particular situation. I need you to hear me on this. That was never about you. That was about him standing at the edge of something that felt too significant to approach without preparation. That was about a man who takes things seriously, encountering something he could tell immediately was serious, and needing time to catch up to what he already knew. You were never invisible to him. You were overwhelming to him from the beginning. The distance was not indifference. The distance was someone trying to buy themselves time before having to admit something they weren't ready to admit. He's ready now, and what's coming towards you is not a hesitant, half-formed, let's see what this is kind of energy. It is decided. It is full. It has been building in him quietly for longer than either of you has spoken about, and it is done waiting. So are you. And before you go, if something in this reading cracked something open in you that you've been keeping carefully closed, good. That's exactly what it was supposed to do. I'm Lily, and this space exists for the woman who is done accepting less than the full weight of what she deserves. Done shrinking the evidence of her own worth to make other people more comfortable. If that's you, and I know it is, subscribe. Stay close. These readings are made for you, and they will keep finding you when you need them. Like this video if something in here landed. Not for me. For the woman who is going to scroll past it tomorrow and stop because she sees the number and thinks, maybe this one is for me. Help me find her. And one more thing. Think of a woman in your world right now who has been quietly doubting herself because someone in her life made the mistake of underestimating her. Send this to her. No explanation, no setup, just send it. She'll know exactly why.